Juan-Pablo Rivero is an experienced industrial engineer with extensive background in water resources and recycling in Latin America. Born and raised in Mexico, he is the top executive of Hydrous, a revolutionary firm with presence in Houston. Bienvenido, Juan Pablo. Tell me, what is the relevance of water recycling and water management?
Thank you, Marco. Thanks for inviting. Happy to be here. So yes, it's been a journey of 15 years in the water space, recycling water. So my experience in the US, I've seen aged infrastructure for water. According to the Association of Civil Engineers, the deficit is close to $500 billion. So that's what in Hydrous, we see in Hydrous like an immense economic opportunity, so that infrastructure is revamped and fixed. Like that water infrastructure is critical for the US.
In concrete terms, what is the business model of Hydrous?
So in Hydrous, what we do with water is basically we try to help the end user, which is a manufacturing facility, a municipality, to convert their wastewater into clean water that can be recycled and reused. So imagine the business model of the solar industry, where you take energy from the sun, you put it in a machine and you create electricity. We do the same, but with wastewater. We take a waste that we see has value, we put it through a machine, and we convert it into clean water so that you, like the factory, the end user, can reuse it and become a recycled loop. So the business model is divided in, we have three business units. One is origination. So with origination, and we've incorporated AI and automation, we basically take the water analytics, and with that water analytics, we convert it into an engineered proposal. Basically, I can see with the water analytics what the client requires as a treatment train process, what equipment is going to give him the result. So just imagine when a patient goes to the doctor, you have to do some analytics, some lab, some blood tests, urine tests, and with that, like the doctor can see what's wrong with you. With water is the same, like water is composed of microorganisms and constituents. So basically we take that water, take some testing, and accompanied by AI and our experience, we convert it into an engineered proposal for the end user.
How about the second stage, the engineering?
So the engineering is how we started 15 years ago. So we have a great team of engineers, and we work with a network of experts, which allow for us to understand the different parts of water and the different technologies, because water being so variable, there's many different tools and approaches you can have to fix the water. So engineering, we help our customers understand, accompanied by the AI, their need and engineer that solution.
How about asset management? That is very important. Every company is looking at, capital investment. How do you handle that?
So I think that's like the main approach. Same as what happened with the solar industry. People many years ago, they were buying a solar panel. Now basically you're buying a rate, an electrical rate. So with the water, we're doing the same. We're helping customers to focus on their core activities, and let us put a machine for them to take the wastewater, convert it into clean water, recycle. And the best of all is there's a lot of money savings by doing such. We've seen in the US the prices of water and the price of getting rid and disposal and hauling of your wastewater, they're all over the place. So that arbitrage, that we call it, has a big economic opportunity. So the cost of treating water, sometimes the difference of the cost of treating water versus what a company spends on getting rid of the water, disposing and hauling it off, is tremendous, and that's where the opportunity is.
Excellent, excellent. Now let's talk about the Houston region. How urgent is this problem here? How do you compare it with other parts of the country, other nations of the world?
So definitely it's a global problem. According to the economy, the world economy is $100 trillion. According to the WWF, which is a worldwide fund, There's $58 trillion that have to do with water. So that economy touches water at some point. So just like imagine like a normal day, like a shirt takes like 700 gallons to make. A car is like 40,000 gallons. A house, almost 500,000 gallons. So everything has to do with water. And it's a commodity that it's undervalued, and we have to take more attention to it.
Tell me a little bit more about the Houston region, because I see that we take water for granted. So we don't really pay attention. We waste a lot of water, and we see it everywhere. It's the bayous, and it's the swamps, and it's the sea, and it's the everywhere we see water. Is it really important to look at that here in Houston?
Yes, we in Houston, it rains a lot, so we think that there's a lot of water. But not all the water is ready to be used. There's some brackish water, and water has to be treated. So sometimes the low-hanging fruit is the wastewater that is generated in the industry. And that industry, what it does today, it transports that wastewater out and pays a third party to dispose it. So they should see that wastewater as something of value and make an analysis of what's better, to dispose it and haul it off, or to treat it and reuse it on site. And that's what we do for them. We help them analyze that, and then if it makes sense, economic sense, we come in and help them with the investment and with the machines so that they can treat the water and reuse it on the site.
I read your website, and you mentioned that you have a decentralized mentality or thinking about water. What does that mean?
So what it means, and the approach has been centralized facilities, but this centralized infrastructure has a big deficit. That's what I was talking at the beginning, close to $500 billion. So we cannot wait for that centralized infrastructure to be fixed. It requires a lot of money, it requires a lot of organization, and the process is slow. So what we offer is a decentralized approach where you take in mobile equipment, and with that decentralized mobile fleet of assets, you can treat the water on site and reuse it. So that's basically the approach, going to the source and treating and reusing the water at the source.
Excellent, excellent. Now, you also mentioned that you're technology agnostic. Can you explain to me what you mean by that?
Yes, like we really look at the client and what are their needs. Like, we're not there to sell a technology. We're more to partner with the end user and help him figure out what's the best machine to do the work. So we don't have a preference for a technology. Having said that, we've worked with different technologies from all across the world. And I have to say that there's technologies that have a lot of track record, are proven. There's countries like Israel, they recycle close to 90% of their wastewater. So those technologies have been there for a while. Basically what we do is we bring in those technologies, a lot of which we have worked in the past in Mexico and Latin America. And we're bringing that technology to the US. The idea is that technology in the US to be assembled here and be able to do the work at the site.
Yeah, what is in general your vision for water recycling in our particular region? Because we're all concerned about our habitat. We're all concerned about our city, our region. What is your outlook? What do you see in 5-10 years here?
I think we're at the beginnings of people starting to realize how important water is and the value of it. So what I see is decentralized water recycling happening everywhere. Like, it can happen in your house. You can capture rainwater and reuse it for the toilets. You can use the water from the toilets then to irrigate your garden. So the same happens in an industry. It doesn't make sense to build, for example, a car using fresh water. Like, we could use wastewater, treat it, and use that wastewater to build the car. So I see that happening. I think that's the future.
So is it positive? Is it negative? Is it in between?
I think we're a little bit behind when you compare to what's going on in Europe, Israel, Singapore. So I think we need to speed up the pace, because I think it's very important. Imagine AI and data centers how much water that's gonna consume. So if we don't like go at the same pace with our water infrastructure, we're gonna have a bottleneck, and that's something we have to start taking care of.
So what I'm hearing is AI and water recycling go hand in hand, right?
Yes. The AI, the data centers, they use a lot of water, and that water is usually for cooling and other purposes. So without water, all these plants and all these huge investments in the AI and data center space won't have the water to cool it off. So it's critical, like it's necessary.
How big of a project do you need to handle? Can you handle, between what range of investment for water recycling?
So our focus on the water recycling, it can be at the household level or at the big government project level. What we do at Hydrous is more at an industrial level, and we focus on projects that are between $500,000 and $5 million. So it's usually like a middle, big infrastructure manufacturing facility.
Okay, so that gives me an idea that Houston should be a potentially incredible market for your products and your services. So what do someone has to do in order to contact you?
So I've driven along the industrial corridor of Houston, and I've noticed and I've seen that people haul off and dispose wastewater. Number one, that's costly, and number two, it's a resource they're basically giving away. So what we can do, and like what they can approach us with water analytics and a visit that doesn't have a cost. We can let them know
Excellent.
What is the technology and what is the equipment that they require, what is going to be their savings, if there are savings, and what is the technology that is going to do the job.
Juan Pablo, thank you for giving us this interesting outlook about an invaluable resource in our region. Water is essential here and at a world level. We wish you the best for your business, and thank you for being here at Nexo Latino.
No, thank you very much, Marco, for the invitation. Very happy to engage with your great audience.
Next, how Spanish cuisine has carved a significant place in the taste of many American restaurant goers. Don't go away. Stay tuned here on Nexo Latino.